Hello everyone, my name is Harpreet. Today I'm here to share my personal experience from my childhood that had a deep impact on me. This is an experience that taught me a valuable lesson about what it feels like to be excluded and why inclusion matters so much, especially in the early years. I did my schooling in my home country, India. When I was in primary school, our school was celebrating the Children's Day. So many students were going to perform on the stage on that day. I also prepared for a solo dance performance for our school's Children's Day celebration. I was excited, proud, and had spent so many days to practicing at home. But on the day of the event, my teacher informed me that my performance had been cancelled because there were too many students to perform but not enough time. That one sentence hurt me. I stayed silent, but inside I felt sad and disappointed. It made me feel invisible and unimportant. I felt excluded not because of my ability, but because I was not given the chance. It was an experience of exclusion. Even though the teacher didn't mean to hurt me, but the decision made me feel like my efforts and presence didn't matter. The exclusion was not about ability, it was about poor planning and a lack of strategies to include every child. There was a barrier to access because I wasn't given the chance to go on stage and perform. The event wasn't planned in a way that allowed all students to take part. The teacher didn't try to find a way for everyone to have a turn, like giving each child a shorter performance. There was a barrier to participation because I wasn't given the chance to take part, even though I was ready and had practiced at home for many days. I was left out without any support or any other options. There was a barrier for a positive outcome too. As I didn't get the chance to perform my dance, I missed out on feeling confident and proud of all the effort I had put in. This made me feel like I didn't matter and it affected how I saw myself. Because of this experience, I lost interest in joining future school events as I felt discouraged and left out. Reflection of the experience. As a child, this experience deeply affected my sense of self. I felt like my efforts were not valued and that I was not important enough to be a part of something special. It was not just about missing a performance, it was about not being seen or heard. Now, as an early childhood educator, I understand how crucial it is to ensure every child is feels included and valued. This experience connects directly to the statement on the inclusion of every child in early childhood education and care, which highlights that belonging and participations are essential for children's learning and well-being. It also reflects principles of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, especially the Article 12. Every child has the right to express their views and be heard. Article 31. Every child has the right to participate in cultural and artistic activities. From this experience, I have learned the importance of inclusive planning, listening to the children's voices, and recognizing their efforts. Now I do my best to make sure every child gets chance to join in so no one missed out or feels left out. When I am thinking back to my experience of exclusion, now I see how important it is to include every child. That moment made me feel unimportant, but as an educator today, I want to make sure no child feels that way. The statement on inclusion shows what was missing in my experience. Firstly, there was a lack of inclusive planning and flexible decision making. Because the school didn't plan the event in an exclusive or a flexible way, they didn't try to adjust the schedule or find other ways for all students to perform. Secondly, there was a limited child voice and agency. No one asked me how I felt or thought about how canceling my performance would affect me. I wasn't given a chance to share my thoughts or be a part of the decision. How I will implement in my future teaching practices. Here are some key strategies that I will continue to implement in the future. Firstly, inclusive planning and flexible implementation, which is linked to the statement on inclusion, areas for action, inclusive planning, and curriculum design. I will always plan programs with every child in my mind. I will consider their needs and interests and find ways like rotating groups to include everyone instead of leaving anyone out. Ensuring every child voice is heard, which is linked to the UNCRC Article 12, respect for the views of the child. Children have the right to express their views and be a part of decision that affects them. I will keep having open conversation with children, listening to their opinions and respecting their choices. Building a culture of belonging, which is linked to the statement on inclusion, creating welcoming and inclusive environments. I want to create an environment where every child feels welcome, safe, respected, and included. My aim to make sure no child is left out because each child is important. Thank you for listening.